been a long time coming. They ain't come from my cloth, they tugging. Putting up numbers, 99 pounds, and I still kept it 100. Hola. Yeah.
The word of the day, my friends, squadouche. And I'll explain in a second. Squadouche. The market right now is doing squadouche, right? And it's Thursday. And we know we're partying tonight. And we'll go over a couple of trades that happened. Show you a couple of winners, a couple of losers, a couple of flat trades. And here we are. Everybody all right today? There's been a lot, and then it went completely stagnant. But the word squadouche, it's a technical term for not much going on. Squadouche. What's going on today? Squadouche. So what are you supposed to be doing when there's squadouche going on? You're supposed to be doing squadouche. Right? My last two trades, one was a small win, one was a small loss. We had our big winners already, and right now we're just in some excessive chop. And I'm always out there trying to find winners for everybody all day. And the ironic trade right now is Meta Long because it just got smoked. But on a squadouche kind of day, which means we're pretty much going sideways, excessive chop. Excessive chop makes fools of all of us, no matter how good you are, because the up moves are muted, but then the down moves are muted, and you're just basically going sideways. And if you're not playing the ranges, you're usually going to be on the wrong side of these trades, just taking small losses. But, again, we're pretty good at this too, by playing these tight little ranges. So I'll show you a couple of ideas, and then we'll party later tonight and prepare for tomorrow. Because if you get a choppy Thursday, usually Friday makes up for that. So one of the trades that we were doing is SFM, which is still on for some of us, right? But it's the definition of squadouche, right? So here we got a stock that got smoked on earnings, an attempt to rally, and then it rolled over. The rollover gave us the faux show. So we gave it a shot as a long. And we're buying up here, and then we got the VWAP, which is where we hope to get the fake out, shake out VWAP break. And we haven't got the break. This is what we call squadouche, right? It's not a bad trade. It's just you got to be patient. And normally, as a day trader, you're buying something at 10, 14 in the morning, and an hour later, it really hasn't done much. But it's telling you not to do anything. Squadouche. So you don't do anything. So you're still in this trade. You're kind of still waiting because it never violated the shakeout area. Fake them out. Shake them out. You're still above the fake out area. And you're just basically glued to VWAP. So this whole move is basically one long continuous shuffle or a jiggle. But there still hasn't been a reason to sell the whole thing, because the reason to sell is right there at 87. So right now we're in it. And again, you have to have patience to trade a squadouche kind of market, or you're going to get chopped up. For instance, what happened to me on Meta, right? So I got the faux, I got the show, fake them out, shake them out. Sorry, I bought this one, fake them out, shake them out. And I bought here, it starts to rally, and then it rolls over, and I had to take the loss. Small loss, because I'm in at a good price. Small loss. And then it faux shows without me and actually got a little profit. And that trade right here was supposed to be my winner. But look what happened once it got rejected at the VWAP. You got annihilated. That's some squadouche kind of shit right there, right? So in this kind of market, I don't mind the Squadushi days because I'm usually taking quick profits anyway, but you have to in this market right now, or you're going to lose. So there's two choices. If you don't know how to trade the Squadush and the chop and the sideways action, don't. It's the easiest answer. When the days are bad, leave the kid alone. What movie? And if you don't know, it's The Wanderers. So let me say hi to your friends over there on the internet. Oops, sorry. Why did that just happen? Oh, hold on. So right now, this SFM, right? The premise here is, I know the stock exists, right? I don't know what they are. Sprouts Farm Market, no idea. But why are we even in the stock? Might be the question you're asking right now. And by the way, if you are in it now, you finally got where we thought we can get to. Sell right here, 79.15, 79.20. You should be a seller because now you went from Squadush to getting something out of this trade because you had the patience you needed to trade the Squadushi market. And that patience is price. Right? This trade is a perfect example of how you stay profitable. You don't sell or get out of your trade until it does something that tells you, I have to get out. And why did I just tell you to sell? Because when stocks get back to prices from where something happened once before, you have to do something as well. But you never sell your entire position at one price. So now that you got paid here, you're a seller, but now we're expecting to get the full Monty now. So we're trying to get this thing back to the $80. Sorry, I have the wrong price there. $80.75 is what we think could happen next because there's nothing in between. So now you raise your stop. Let's call it 78.50. Let's call it 78.63, right to the top of that candle. So basically 78 and 5/8 for my old school players. 78 and 5/8. And you've sold some here, and you're hoping for some more. So at least this trade's kind of working. And the Qs, which was my best trade of the day, and I know I promised I wasn't going to short the Qs anymore, but I had to. Because if stocks break prior day lows, you break pivot points and pre-market lows and overnight lows, and then you broke the prior day low, you know I'm shorting the Qs. And again, very short-lived trade. I knew it was going to be. So I was covering down here because 630 gets you 627.50. I got my 250 out of it, milked it for every damn penny I could get, covered it basically on the way back up at 628.50. And my mistake was not to go long and enjoy that beautiful rip to the upside. But, can't be perfect. And so far, managing to make money on a Squadushi day, that's good stuff. My only loss is that little tiny meta trade. And let me show you some other ones if you guys are joining us late. And hey, listen, since I launched this program, we're getting a little uptrend here right now. So again, don't get too excited about it because we've been getting these up moves today for the first time in what seems like 6 months. There are some sellers out there today. Will it last? Probably not. But right now, there's some sellers. All right, hold on. Let me get my, I just lost the room. Hey, there you are. You don't want to be trading options in a Squadushi kind of market because you're not really getting the big follow through. Wait till tomorrow. It'll be all about options tomorrow. I love Fridays. Plus, we have another round earnings coming out tonight. It's going to be awesome. And listen, we were just having this conversation with my chat room. There are days where the saying of make a day's pay and go away are more important than any other saying that I have. Today's that day. Make a day's pay and go away. We've had a series of amazing trades already. It's getting choppy. And because we sit here and it's only 11 o'clock, usually there's lots of opportunities between 11 and 12 still. We're getting in some annoying chop right now. And, you don't want to start chipping away at your day, because then that all those mental things that you do wrong start to creep back in. You lose on something. You don't usually want to leave a loser. You want to do another trade and make that money back, and then you lose again. And then you're like, wait a minute, I should have just left. Yes. And then you're like, all right, let me try one more trade and try to make that money back. And then suddenly you lose 3 in a row, and now you've given back more money, and now you should have walked away 2 trades ago. I've lived every mistake. And by the way, if anybody wants to read about some mistakes, come to the website tonight. If you guys don't know, we're schmoozing. Big schmooze tonight. Apple schmooze. Earnings schmooze. Best schmooze of the year. Halloween schmooze. DJ's ready to rock. Options expiration on Tech Day. This is why the schmooze was born, for tonight. And if you do come to the schmooze and you are in the chat room right now and you want to read some really awesome stuff, I have a book that I keep telling you about. I have the original manuscript to the greatest book ever written about trading ever. Speaking about that, you guys all get your book. Another, speaking of books, friend of the family, Jeff Hirsch, Top Traders Almanac. Everybody should have one on their desk at all times. But the book that I'm talking about is called Failed Traders. And every pitfall that I talk about, all the mistakes that I've ever made, we've all made them. Overtrading, not walking away. Failed traders, 20 common mistakes committed by 1,000 losing traders. I'm one of the losing traders in the book. That's not me. But it only costs you $4 on Amazon. But if you want it, I have the original manuscript. And it is the easiest, best read in the book, in this industry. You got a couple other ones. Obviously, Jesse Livermore. Everybody loves that book. This is my favorite. And I like Josh Brown's book, but it's just for fun. What was the other book we used to read a lot? There's So's Bandits, which is interesting. That's the story of my when we started trading electronically back in the day. But yeah, if anybody wants a copy of that book, come tonight. You just download it right off the website. And if you don't know what I'm talking about tonight, we do a Thursday night evening session to prepare for options expiration. It's good to have a game plan because, today we had a lot of trades to choose from. Now we're just in this choppy squadouche, right? But look how beautiful this Starbucks trade, which is over now. By the way, my long trader friend, Faux Show Bro, 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal. Money's already been made. You don't want to be in this chop now because that's how you give back money. Sitting on your hands, another good saying. Right, there are days where you just got to make your day's pay and go away. Lately, going away has been a bad choice because there's been just a plethora of amazing trades over and over and over again. Today is not that day. Address it, own it, and now we hang. Not saying like, hey, listen, if the market starts to crash later and UVXY is breaking 11, yeah, there might be something to do. But, and also somebody just mentioned this stock here. I don't know what it is, but it's about to do, actually it's about to go green and break multi-day VWAP. That's what I think maybe we buy this stock. Holy shit. Actually, what is this? Firefly Aerospace is about to have a possible reversal. So if you're in this, now here, let's walk through this trade right now. Right? Somebody mentioned it earlier. I hope you're in it. So there's your There's a fake out, shake out. You didn't really get much of a breakout. And then if faux show bros, again, let's say you're in. Blue line or orange line is the first stage, right? But if you're in at blue, you're generally going to sell some at orange because that's the algo. So now if it consolidates, then you got yourself the 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal. And if this is an earnings reversal, it's not. It's just some stock you were looking at. So they didn't report yet, right? All right, no reporting. But it's just your typical reversal, right? Somebody mentioned the stock earlier today, and if you're in it, good job. So normally I'm a seller, but you don't sell it all at one price. So if you're just coming in and you're thinking, hey, maybe I buy this, you give it a beat, wait to see if it holds this upper level, and then if it breaks, usually you're going to get some follow through. And then you remind yourself, all right, we're in the middle of some swadushi chop right now. I don't want to be chasing anything. And obviously this Myrna's been ripping all morning, so hang on, I want to see what's going on here. Oh, it's got to be news. What, COVID's coming back? But if Myrna's moving, let's go check out NVAX. As a matter of fact, let's buy some NVAX. I mean, not more a little bit. But again, look at these trades, right? We're coming in late, obviously. I'll give it a smidge. I'll buy a little bit. I ain't going crazy because this is, like I said, anything you're buying on the way up, you're getting met with equal moves. That's kind of what the sideways day is all about. So you buy a little bit, and if it tests those lows, if it tests that area, it holds, and then you got a reason to buy more. But really, just a lot of nothing going on right now. But, you know, the Q short was awesome, covered near lows. And if I would have went long, this day would be completely different because that was an amazing trade. Merck, you know, after a couple of chops, turned into a phenomenal trade on the verge of a green reversal here. So that's important. You just broke even on Merck. And if anybody's in it, you got yourself that reversal right now on Merck. So this one's still working. And again, these are stocks that we don't normally trade, but why are we? Hey, Merck, you got your reversal now. There you go. Very nice. All right, a little bit. Good thing I checked. And again, classic trade. Right? Remember this one I talked about this morning? Nobody trades this stock, but today we will because it has more volume. These trades work better when there's reports because VWAP works better when there's more volume. And when there's the most volume? Earnings. So if you see faux show bros and the VWAP is holding, super bullish, and now the stock got yourself the 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal. Trade hasn't failed in 10 years or more, well, 4 years really. And suddenly you got yourself a new winner. Now let's see if NVAX can get going. All right, I'm going to keep buying this thing and move it myself. Yes, fuck you, man. Let's go. I'll keep buying it. It's unhealthy. By the way, Merck turning out to be much better than you thought. There you go. Now you got to sell because you just got half to the whole. Sell some Merck. All right, I just bought an excessive amount of NVAX, so hopefully this works. Well, I shouldn't have bought that much. Oh, no. Please break 850. Wasn't I just getting up? Now suddenly I'm in 2 trades. I got a problem. I was just getting up to get coffee. Now I'm in 2 trades. What am I doing? Get me the hell out of this. All right, sell the Merck. Damn it. The hell am I doing? I was just getting up. I don't want to have this much. All right, I gotta sell something. All right, so while we're working our way through the Merc and the NVAX now, suddenly I got trades going. QQQ, just trapped in the middle here. I gotta get my. Yeah, VKTX, that was a good one, yeah. I don't know if he's actually doing anything, but I bought him. Anti-glare glasses. Oh my God, let's go. I don't even want to check where the meta is. All right, meta's still on the 660. I do have a couple other ones on the radar. Some of the material stocks are gap and they're rolling. So I'm kind of looking at the UUU, little faux show bro, but I was kind of waiting to see if this thing turned around. Quantum stock still in play. All right, this mark's doing a lot better than I thought it would be doing. So you got yourself a 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal, right? Nice coincidence that it happened right in front of us. So if you guys are still in Merck, I just sold 87 because that's what I do. But you see the bottom of that candle? That's 89. Sorry. You got a little gap. So wait to see if it closes the gap. So that's, oh no, sorry. I got, no, that's 87.65. So that would be your next target to the upside. And remember, it is still a squadouchi kind of day, so that's why you sell on the way up. And this end back sucks. Just sitting here doing nothing. Here's some other ones. Shake Shack. Crazy movements in the beginning of the day. Faux show bro VWAP rate. And this little subtle move right there, you see how it came down? Faux showed at prior day VWAP, holds it, gives you a new reason to buy it, and you're getting paid. Again, the way you trade these sideways days is you just wait for the trade to set up. And you got to be buying, if you're doing anything, trade them around VWAP. So when you're wrong, it's not going to be, some horrible loss. It'll be, tiny. But again, on these choppy days, you do 4 or 5 tiny little losses. Next thing you know, your day's not that good. Why does my coffee keep getting cold so quickly? That's the real problem today. So going back to tonight. Yeah, Google phenomenal. I mean, we came out of the gate ball, blazing. Google short, Q short. That was pretty much, what I got paid on. I didn't trade with Google, but I when the Google started rolling over, I joined in on the Q short. Pretty much the only, big trade today. Everything else has been a scalp. And you know what? I'm going to bail on this NVAX. Sucks. Yeah, I guess I'll give it the plastic. I got to give it a little bit of room. I expected it to pull back, so yeah, whatever. I'll work my way through it. So yeah, if you don't have an invitation, just email me, Kenny Glick at AOL.com. You should know that by now. And we'll talk about my positions that I have on, because by Tuesday, I will be free of all stocks. I'm selling everything I own. I don't own a lot, but I'm dumping everything. I'm getting out of the market for good. I'm never going in ever again. No more call spreads, no more swing trades, no more selling puts, certainly no more short strangles on the Qs, because that continues to backfire. I'm going to stick to the trade that works every single time, and that's all I'm doing. So I'm going to be free. I'm selling Globe, even though I still think it's getting taken over. I'm selling SRAD. They're both reporting next week. I don't want any part of any earnings reports. So there's SRAD breaking new highs. I didn't sell all of it yet, but I've been selling. And I got a couple of thousand shares I got to get out of. I got some call spreads on it too, which I can't even get out of because the stock stinks. It's the most illiquid options ever. Nobody ever traded SRAD options, the worst. Nobody trades them except me. I'm basically trading them back and forth to myself. Awful. The only stock I might own, and we'll talk more about it tonight, is VICR. And we're going to have our friend Don Corleone elaborate on this amazing idea that he gave us from his analyst friend. And again, it's good to know a couple of guys that get things right. His analyst friends are the good analysts, the ones you don't hear about posting nonsense on the internet. They're just doing their job, and they work for their own private equity funds. He's made some pretty amazing calls. If you guys know about VICR, he gave it to us at $58 and told us to hold it into the earnings. I was like, really? I don't really want to hold the stock into earnings. And whoop. It's a pretty damn good idea. I mean, I like the chart anyway. That's why I was with them on this. And they're saying wonderful things about this company. They own some IPO that's coming out. It's a good way to play the IPO without owning the IPO. We'll talk more about it, but KennyGlick@AOL.com will send you a link, password, and we'll get to hang out. And then if you guys haven't hung out with us on a Friday, I'll let you stay in that private secret lair of mine all day tomorrow, get a feel for what we do, and maybe we'll get a couple of 10-baggers like we had last week. It was phenomenal. Yeah. All right, we're going to do my talk. If anybody has any questions, this would be a good time to ask. I got pretty much nothing going on except this NVAX trade, which I probably shouldn't have put on. Side. We got echoes. Oh, solved. Thanks for the heads up. You guys want to start the party now? We'll start it subtle. You're trading Comcast? Yeah, I'll show you that. That one reported earnings, right? I'll be right back. I'm going to go nuke my coffee. 82 in the house. What's up? We're getting 10 baggers tomorrow. Well, hopefully, because if you were trading options today, you probably got bagged. If you didn't get in at the right time today, I mean, the last thing you want to be doing is trading options and chop, because that's when you have a real bad day, because nothing works. They all expire worthless and you get smoked. So hopefully we have some kind of similarity of what we did last week. And last week, the reason it was so amazing is that we had some cheap stocks moving in 50-cent increments, right? So it doesn't take a lot to get a 10 bagger on a Friday. You know, for instance, that Clove option, the reason Clove was so awesome was that it finally broke out, and it did it on the Friday. So here's the Clove from Friday. It all started with a faux show bro. So when you faux show bro and you got a stock that's breaking out, confirming the breakout intraday, the 350 calls right here were well, if you were speculating that it was going to happen, you could have got them at seriously a penny or two. Most of us wound up buying in at 3. Some of us got 4. But if you got 3, the stock wound up going basically to $4. So your 3-cent option went to 50 cents. So, you know, again, not saying anybody bought $3,000 worth and sold them at 50, but that was the trade. That was there. The way I trade, I buy an option at 3. If I buy 400 contracts with $1,200, when they go to 7, I'm selling 100 contracts. Now I got a free trade. And then I work the other 200 contracts. Some guys, you know, again, depending on your greed or your wallet, you want to put $1,800 on a trade and go for gold and, you know, hope they go to 50 cents and then sell them at 50. You're the greatest trader on earth. The way I trade is I take the money when I see it, lock into a profit, and then I milk the rest. And it was awesome. You know, bought them at 3, sold some, you know, most of it at 11, because that's what I do. And I was lucky because I came in later. But anyway, you don't need a monstrous trade on the stock to make a monstrous gain on an option on a Friday. So Ford, right? Who the hell thought we were going to make 10 bagger on Ford? It's set up for it. Earnings came out. Faux show bro VWAP break. $13 calls were 3 cents. And they went to 50 cents. And then you had Open, which is my favorite stock to trade almost every day. I'm sure it's going to be a buy soon today at some point. Here's the Friday move. Faux show bro. 750 calls, missed them. $8 calls were a penny.
That's a 42 bagger in theory, because if you bought them at a penny, they went to about 45 cents. So that's basically a 45 bagger. And if you bought them at a penny, they did go to 45. So you see what I'm saying? But it depends on how you trade. I buy a 3-cent option. I'm in 100 contracts. I'm selling 50 at 6 because then I got 50 contracts for free. You guys understand, right? If you double your money and you sell half, now you got what we call the FU lot. I don't even care. You could hope for the best. And we had 4 of those last week, and they were just minuscule, weird stocks like Ford, Open, Clove. Who the hell even trades this stock except for us, right? And then, of course, the earnings reversal that day was Intel. So Intel gapped up, right? And what are we looking to do on gapped up stocks that report earnings? We're looking to short them. And you had the $39 puts. I can't show them to you because it's last week. I mean, I could. But the $39 puts were 20 cents. And they went to basically $1.50. Ain't bad. And in these not so big moves, you're making stupid amounts of money with very, very low entry points. But on a day where it's squadoosh, every one of those trades is going to be a loser. $1,200 out the window there, $400 there, and you're going to lose $3,000 that day. On a day like today, where there's just that chop, you're not getting any follow through. You're going. Oh, by the way, hey, anybody still short Sophie? Let's go, people. Still on. This one's still on from earlier. I don't know if anybody just took my recommendation, but by the way, the reason we're shorting this stock is because my father owns it and he won't sell it. So I feel compelled to hedge my dad. But Ray, listen, if you're still in the NVAX, we're back in the green on it. I mean, it's at least we're not losing money on it right now. If you bought it at 845, it's flat. I don't know. I'm going to hang in there, see if we can get something out of this trade. And and that's it. I mean, the reason I do this live every day and we hang out is, you got to talk out these trades. You got to know what you're doing. And you got to appreciate there are days where, man, if you don't take the quick money, that quick money that you should have taken becomes a bad loss. And it becomes very, very frustrating. And the last thing you want to do is chop your shit up on a Thursday right before a schmooze, right before options expiration. And, frustration, it hurts because you start to think that you're doing something wrong. It's just the market's not in a good mood right now, and it's an excessive chop right here. Look, the QQQ trader who's getting all excited about being long, now you just gave it all back, right? You don't want to be chopped up, and you don't want to be trading options. Sure, Merck, you got the follow through, great, right? Merck, you're still hanging with it, right? Because it's still hanging. It's still telling you can hang, but you sold, right? You're still waiting to see if you get the other 30 or 40 cents. So now you could raise your stop to, let's say, and look, you see the price I told you to put the stop on? It flirted with it, but it didn't break. So legitimately, if you're still in, you hang in there with it until it breaks. Shake Shack, if you're still in it, right? It's a good trade. You put your stop at the breakout price, then yeah, you're still in it. So all of these trades, the way to trade sideways markets and squadooshi markets is just the same way as everything else. Sell, raise stops, and then you won't be chopped. You won't have big losses. But now take a look at what Meta did, right? So Meta, because the day is squadooshi, when it sold off, I said, now let's buy it. That's how you trade squadoosh. There you go. Where are my people that bought the Meta, right? You do not sell at lows in squadoosh. You buy the low. Now you're a seller because you have to assume that the squadoosh will continue. So now that you rejected at VWAP, rolled over, fake out, shake out, buy it, Low print is you're out, retrace the VWAP, and suddenly all your nightmares from earlier have been, now they're fantasies, and where all the women love you and you have hair. Speaking of that, did you guys see this picture yet? It's my prom picture. Look at that hair, baby. Living the dream. That's all the way down my back. King of the mullets right there. We called that the Kirk Cameron. And by the way, tell me somebody took that meta trade. I mean, that was classic squadouche trade right there. Oh yeah, I had a Jew fro, we called it. Yeah, it was crazy. I actually went to a hairstylist, that my date who went gay promptly after our prom. She forced me. I went to a hairstylist. I'm sitting in they took an hour to do that for me. You remember the Kirk Cameron? Yeah, he knows what I'm talking about. And also, here's my other date. This is me also. So I don't know if you guys know this or not. Maybe you thought I was joking around. I was a performing arts kid. I was in all the shows. I was a dancer, a singer. I was a performing arts kid. I don't know how I wound up trading. It's bizarre to me still. I was supposed to be in show business. But thank you for being here, my captive audience, so I get to entertain anyway and make money. But yeah, this was a show we did. I was an Elvis impersonator lion. So I was a lion. I was the king of the jungle. Get it? King of the jungle. And the show was about Donald Trump was coming to knock down the forest to build a new casino. And we had to sabotage his plans. So I gathered the animals. Yeah. Hey, by the way, you see how that meta now, you should be a seller, right? Speaking of Trump, I know more about trading than anybody. I really do. And the one thing I've learned for shit sure is nothing beats trading with VWAP and multiple time frame VWAP. It'll keep you in the game for life. I mean, I was a little nervous because of the 24-hour nature of the markets that it would change something with VWAP. It actually got better. Right. So I've always had a thing anti-Trump. Enough for nothing. Me and Trump, we hugged it out. I could say I hugged the president. When I worked at the VH1 Fashion Awards, and Trump was there, and I met the guy. Massive dude, by the way. We did hug. Nice. He was nice to me. Nicer than Mike Piazza was when I met Mike Piazza that same night. I was like, Mike, man, you're the best. I never seen a guy hit the ball so hard, man. You might be the greatest catcher of all time. Fucking gave me like a kind of like snuffed me. I went to go shake his hand. He kind of just looked at me like I was a douche. I was like, what? He walked in with two women, which makes me think he's gay. He's trying to hide something. But Trump, very nice guy. He was very nice to me. Hugged me. I was like, oh, man, good to meet you. Big guy. Hugged him. Mike Piazza, jerk. But yeah, I used to work in the entertainment industry. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. DJ Smike used to get me all my jobs. By the way, if you're around tonight, you'll get to meet my DJ, my best buddy. And we're like a married couple. We get divorced every once in a while, and then I get all mad, and then we don't speak for like a year or so. You know how it is with your brother. But he's back, and we're going to Vegas. So if you guys want to come with us and party in Vegas, it's going to be a good time. I'm doing a VWAP symposium at the end of February in Vegas. It's basically a couple of hours worth of me talking about VWAP, and the rest of the time we're going to be partying. Do some shooting, play some golf, do some karaoke, lots of drinking. Should be a good time. Here goes another stock was on the list. I haven't looked at this stock in a long time. Sirius Satellite Radio. Oh, wow. It actually had a pretty good move. But if anybody is short the Sophie, now you see how it just broke the low. Now that is the new stop. And if anybody's still long Merck, let's take a look. Still hanging in there. And if anybody has noticed, the UVXY is at the highs of the day. That is the major takeaway from today. We're seeing the UVXY show signs of strength, which is telling us that this market wants to go down for the first time in what seems like 6 months. Don't ignore it. So again, I'm hoping we don't break lows of the day because I have a diabolical plan. So, I mean, it looks like it's going to roll over and die. That's your 5-day VWAP. We haven't obviously even flirted with prior lows until today, because today's a lot different than the last, 70 or 80 days in a row that we've had here where the market refuses to go down. And UVXY is confirming it. We got some bearishness out there. Will it last? I hope it doesn't. And that's crazy for me to say out loud, but I have a plan. If we don't break today's lows today, and then we gap again tomorrow on Apple earnings, and we got a huge list of earnings tonight, right? So you got what I need. You got Amazon, Apple, Coin, Reddit, MicroStrategy. Throw in some Roku. Throw in some Team, if you guys know about that Australian software company, massive company, part of the Qs. You got Twilio, you got Zillow, you got Rocket, you got Riot, you got First Solar, right? You see where I'm going? A lot of big stocks. You got Gilead, part of the Qs. So what I'm hoping, and I don't usually get what I want, but I'm hoping that we don't break the lows of the day. And I'm not short right now, so I don't really care. I'd like to see it just chop for the rest of the day. Annoying for you if you're looking for a new trade today, but it's okay. We already had some winners today. We cashed in. Merck wasn't so bad. Got paid on a meta trade. We're still waiting on this NVAX. I had the Q short. Anyway, long story short, choppa for the rest of the day. Gap on the earnings. If we roll like we did today, and then we break today's lows, there's going to be a freaking exodus out of this market. And the Qs are going to go back to 616.20 tomorrow. And we're all going to get paid. Did I just get excited about being short the Qs? Yeah, you bet it. You betcha I am. But all that has to play out. Because if it does play out the way that I just described, we are going to get a beautiful sell-off to that next massive algorithmic pivot, which is about 12 points lower. 12 points on a Friday on the Qs. Know what that means? That should be the 5-bagger. Because tomorrow the options will be a little bit cheaper because it's expiration Fridays. And, some of the volatility will dissipate from the Fed meeting because that's priced in right now. We got Fed meeting volatility still baked into some of these options. And then again, if we come from a place of strength into weakness, that's when you get some cheap options. But how about that meta trade, right? I mean, awesome. I mean, it went from, hey, we might as well buy it to, hey, that was pretty damn great trade. Pretty sweet. Just got to get out of this NVAX and I'll have zero going on. And, you know, if you have any more questions for me, now would be the time to ask. Oh, I definitely think we're going higher into the end of the year. Yeah. But it would be an easy rally if we get one more frightening sell-off to trap schmucks like me that think it'll actually follow through to the downside, which it never does. And that's when you'll get that turn into the rip, and we'll probably rally right into the end of the year. But again, none of that matters. You know, I'm just really, the most I plan for is tomorrow. I live in the moment. And that meta trade just, wow. That was kind of just a goofy idea just to play the squadouche. You know, all right, rejected at VWAP, breaks new lows. You might as well buy the faux show and get back to VWAP. And that now is a pretty freaking awesome trade. That's 10 points, you know, just on 50 shares. Why not? It's $500. RKT, I'm actually a fan now. Yeah. I used to hate this stock. It was a terrible IPO. They bled everybody to death. And then it finally woke up. As a matter of fact, that ain't a bad looking setup right this second. But I'm not a hater anymore. I kind of dig this stock. They're reporting tonight. Or did they report this morning? I forgot what the story is. I had this on my list today. They're reporting tonight or tomorrow morning. This is on my list for some reason. Yeah. Is it today or tomorrow? Tonight? I think it's tonight. Yeah, tonight. Yeah. Yeah, I will watch it more closely tomorrow. But right now, it's just, you know, this squadouche going on. So I'm not so excited about putting any more trades on. It's only 4 more hours, right? Tonight, we're going to have a good time. What song is that? Oh, that's Queen. And the world. Hey, wait a second. How come nobody's talking about this Caesar faux show, bro? Look at that nasty chart. Damn. But look at that. You hit that fake out shakeout level 3 more times to still break over the VWAP. Yeah. Too bad I wasn't watching. I would have bought that at 1850. Reddit, big fan also. I like that stock. I don't know why. You want to hear a funny phone call? I'm going to call my dad, tell him to sell Sophie. He'd be like, shut up. Funny story is that when Sophie reported earnings, my dad is a long-term investor. When he buys a stock, he's basically in for life. He's up 100% on the trade. He's not even taking any profits. He's insane. But he makes more money than all of us. And by the way, Meta, right back to the 666 from before. Wow, the goofy trade turned out to be a phenomenal trade now. So here, I was talking to my father yesterday, right? Big time long. He just likes stocks. He just collects them. He's more of a collector. Good for him. Still long the queues from 2003. So my default is to short stocks that are gapped up, right? So I called my father. He doesn't even know they reported, which is hilarious. I'm riveted on. I know every stock when they're reporting. And then you got my dad, and I'm like, Dad, this thing might reverse today. You might want to dump it because an earnings reversal is it's a trend reversal trade. By the way, Meta, you got the 6-6. Oh, wow. This turned out to be a much better trade than I thought it was going to be. Congrats if you're still in it. You're getting 66750 right now. You see? That's how you trade Squadouche. You can't be selling at the lows. You got to be buying at the lows. So I shorted the stock because that's what I do. And I got myself a 1-minute multi-day VWAP reversal. I got paid. And then it faux show broed, and I'm covering. And then it turned into a monster long trade. Faux show bro, VWAP break, faux show bro, VWAP break. So I got to my father's house later that day. He's like, oh, man, that trade. Yeah, thanks for that phone call. Stock was up by the end, because my dad only knows the end of the day. So he's like, that was a stupid idea. I'm like, but Dad, I actually did make money. He's like, sure you did. I'm like, no, but really, it was a VWAP break. The reason I'm telling the story is that everybody has a different perspective. Everybody has a different time frame. Everybody has a different mindset. Everybody has a different, way about trading the market. My dad is a long-term investor. He's still in Oracle from the IPO. He's in Cisco from 1998. He gets in, he's in. And that's why he buys real stocks. He doesn't buy junky fly-by-night stuff. Even though I was begging him to buy some quantum, he's like, I ain't going near that stupid stuff. Because he knows what he's doing. He doesn't need me. But in this trade, what I do for a living, I got paid. This was a great trade. But according to my father, he's like, what the hell are you talking about? The stock was up at the end of at the end of the day, all he knows is the stock was higher. And I'm like, but Dad, for about 20 minutes, we were having the best time. And he doesn't even care. And by the way, speaking of not caring, we're back up $60 on this NVAX trade. What do you want to do? Anybody in from 843 and 845? Come on, baby. We're up 3 cents. Woo. Let's go. Any day now. Any day now. And by the way, this is trading. I mean, it's usually not as boring as this NVAX trade, but I mean, we're still in it from here. Bought it during this candle, and it got to the prior day VWAP, and that's why I was expecting it to go higher if it could break. But blue line to orange line, sometimes that's all you get. But there still hasn't been a reason to bail because it hasn't broke down. So still in it. Just waiting. Just waiting. Microsoft. Yeah, let's see. Microsoft. So there's the culprit. Yeah, so for instance, you got the faux show to the VWAP. Phenomenal trade. Breaks above it, you're thinking, here we go, but then it rolls. And that is a terrible thing because that's the finger of God. So when you break VWAP and you roll and then you break where you held, not only should you be selling, but the savvier you get, you're selling and you're shorting. And then you cover down here, and now you're short if you're still short. Those levels where it chopped around, those are your stops. And considering how squadouche, I wouldn't be surprised to see Microsoft do just like Meta just did. Holy crap, look at this Meta trade now. See, now I'm upset. George is getting upset now. You know what? I made the money back that I lost playing a little bounce. I didn't expect it to break VWAP and keep going, but it did. And that's trading. And that's why this Caesar is interesting right now, because you got yourself a lot of chop, faux show, holds VWAP, rallies, 1850 gets you 19, and now, you know, you got a little bit more out of it. But every stock that we're trading right now is all, they're all earnings reports. And that's what again, that's why I love earnings season. There is never, ever a lack of things to look at, to watch, to stalk. And then, you know, the more you go back to these names, right? Even like SFM. SFM comes all the way back down to 77.50 again. If it holds it and then turns again, maybe we do it again. What's the faux show? Really? It's the fake out, shakeout. So when a stock is about to go up, it tends to go down first. Fake them out, shake them out. So when you see a fake out, shakeout here, like Meta just did, and I'll be going over these stuff over and over again on November 22nd. If you do join the room in November, you get a free class out of it. Don't tell anybody I told you that. You see how we were playing, I was playing it over here. Where was the one that I bought? Yeah, see, it broke a new low, and then it came back and it broke VWAP. So I was buying it right here. It popped, and then it rolled right back over, and I said, uh-oh, and I quickly sold it for a small loss, right? Then it did another one where it broke a new low, came right back. The buyer, your buyer here on the fake out, fake them out, shake them out, starts to rally. But this time it got rejected. And that rejection created a new algorithm, and they smashed it right back to, you know, almost near lows. But when it double bottomed, I said, hey, that could be a new area where faux show bro. So you're buying it here, or the original area where it kind of faux show broed right around here, as long as it breaks a new low, right? And then comes back and then breaks VWAP. So you see how it did it right here? It broke a recent low, comes right back, then breaks VWAP. Faux show bro. And the trade replicates all day. So what you're looking for is this one. Even if you missed it down here or here or here, if you see it, do it near VWAP, fake them out, shake them out, VWAP, break them out. Faux show to the bro. Fake them out, shake them out, break them out. Fake them out, shake them out, fake them out, shake them out, break them out. So like Caesars right now, it's in the middle of the bro part, right? CZR, right? You had basically two, you know, fake them out, shake them out. It's a mini break, but you had to get out. And then it does it again, fake them out, shake them out, VWAP. And then just for good measure, right there, fake them out, shake them out. And then when it tests when it gets over the blue and then tests it from on top, you know you're good, like Meta, right? And if you're long Meta right now, fuck yeah. I can't believe I'm not in this now. The best move of the day, of course, I'm not in it this time. But you know what? At least I made some of my money back that I lost earlier. And now you got yourself a faux show, bro. But the thing is, now you're about to test those highs from where it came. You're going to be a seller as it approaches. And now you raise your stop to where it broke out from. And you hope for more, because if it breaks here, you're probably going to go looking for that price up to the 680 area. And all that squadouche and chop, that's why the later move is quite often the best move, because all the people like me who were frustrated are buying it back, and they're usually buying it back more aggressively because now they got a reason to believe. And sadly, I'm not in this move, but you know, I was in this move over here. Never should have sold the whole thing, but I only had 50 shares. So, and the hits keep coming, like the Qs, right? What I say, you don't want to be shorting down here in a squadouche kind of day, because the squadouche is sideways. How does the market stay sideways? It goes up and then they sell it. It goes down and then they buy it. And then at the end of the day, all we've done is gone sideways. It's a squadouche day, but if you know how to play squadouche, you can make money. And then you have the days where you have more follow through and you just raise your stop, and you'll see you'll start to see it's the same day over and over again with me. And that day's good because we navigate the markets based on just the algorithms and the language of love, VWAP. And then, of course, the best trade is when I sell, you buy, and I just happen to save this freaking meta. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. I sold it at 662.48, patting myself on the back. The stock's up 12 points since I sold it. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. But I'll sit with this NVAX like a champ. See, typical. Read about me in the book. Right? When you're waiting for your trade to come back, you got the patience of a saint. When you're in the trade and it's already making money, you're so anxious to sell. And that's a mistake. And if you don't have the book, read it. That's one of the chapters. Because we all do that, right? That's not just me. That's why this book is awesome. Right? When you're waiting for your dumb trade to come back, oh, you got the patience. You'll wait forever, right? But you're in a winter. Ooh, I can't wait to sell it. Oh, let me get that. Oh, I'm gonna sell it all. Am I not talking about it? Am I saying something that hasn't happened to everybody in here? Right? It's happened to all of us. But you see how this meta trade just evolved because we know what's going on, right? Yeah, sure, I blew it. And I left 10 points on the table, but what else is new? That's what I do best. If I didn't laugh about it, I'd be crying every day. Unfreaking believable. But listen, my mistake here is hopefully some of you guys benefit. You guys are long the stock, right? Come on. By the way, VTYX, that IPO, it held $5 from the other day. This piece of stinky, you guys know about this stock, VTYX? It was an IPO a couple of days ago or a couple of weeks. I don't even know how many days now. But it got smoked. Oh, wrong stock. Wait a minute. Wasn't there an IPO, VTYX? I don't know. My brain's on fire. There's so many damn stocks. Wasn't there an IPO, V something X IPO? It went to 20 and then crashed back down to 5. I don't know, but this is where I ask my faithful assistant, are you long meta right now? And if the answer is no, you're fired. Everybody needs a good scapegoat. My scapegoat is Linda. Linda and G-Man, you are going to take such a beating from me. Oh, man. Every trade I ever do wrong, I'm going to blame you, even if it's not your fault. Hey, would somebody buy 100,000 shares of NVAX? Come on, baby. We're back in the green. I'm going to sit with this trade all day. What a waste. I sell the meta, watch it go up 12 points. I'm sitting with NVAX, watching it go back and forth in a nickel. I'm a loser. Yeah, the choices I make, man, it just, oh boy. But what was the other thing we were just talking about? What was that biotech stock? It was like a couple of weeks ago. It was an IPO. VXYX? No, that's that one. I don't know. But anybody get a short off on Cash Money Brothers? Oh, the book? Yeah. See, I'm all scatterbrained now. That's why if you're old like me, you should take a nap before the schmooze like I do. I go sensory wong. I go into it. I put the blankets over me, a pillow over my head I try to get completely black with these big ass headphones. And I don't know if I'm sleeping or not, but it's so good. God, it's called binaural beats. And you set it to like a certain frequency. You actually feel the frequencies, different frequencies for different people. I get these frequencies where it just chills me out. And you're like kind of like in a astral plane. It's good to do it for like an hour. Come back, it's a brand new day. I can't believe Meta just went up 12.5 points without me. Oh, man. Oh, if I didn't laugh, I tell you, I'd be crying every day. Oh, so anyway, that's what I wanted to tell you. CMB, right? The one that we had earlier, right? This one. Cash Money Brothers, right? It's a pump and dump. We all know it. We got paid on it yesterday. A little payday on it today. But generally, these pump and dumps, you're just waiting for the dump. They're garbage. Most of these stocks inevitably go back to zero. And when do you dump them? When you see the finger of God, and then it tests from underneath, and then you get paid. But what I'm looking for on this one, because it surprised me yesterday with some strength later, if they dump it all the way down to 3 and change, I'm going to got my eye on this bad boy. 200 million shares traded right now, downtrend obvious. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh yes. Huh? Look at the cues. Right? Did anybody take my words of wisdom under advisement? Don't short. You want to be buying when they go down. Squadouche. Right? There you go. There you go. And same thing with that SFM, right? Now that it came back to VWAP, I'm still looking at it. Again, if I could get this thing to smash down and then turn again, I'll give it another chance. I got paid on the stock inevitably. That's for sure. So again, right now I've manifested what I wanted to see. I want to see the market rally. And by the way, if you're in Meta, I thank me for selling it. Yes, thank you very much. What I wanted to see happen is exactly what's happening right now. I want to see the market fight back. And then we got, where's my list? Oh, I lost my list. Hold on a second. Huge amount of earnings. Apple, Amazon, Coinbase, Reddit, MSTR, right? Roku. We're definitely going to be gapping a lot on most of these stocks. So if I get what I want, and I don't normally get what I want, the market will rally, gap, and then roll again, and then we're going to crush everybody. Or what will probably happen, we'll just gap and go, and we'll never, and today's lows will be new generational lows. This is what generally happens. All right. On that note, Kenny Glick, AOL.com. I got a free book for you. We got a DJ. We got some option setups tomorrow. Make sure you're with us tonight. It should be a long one. Hopefully Solid Jello is around. And if anybody was buying some of these other bullshit stocks with me this morning, look at this FLWS. It started out as a goof, started as a goof. And I was like, hey, look, a 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal. You might as well buy it. I didn't buy it. 350 got you 4. I mean, finding ideas in this market, it ain't too hard. You got earnings. You got your go-to names, which for me are space rockets, robots, quantum AI, chips, metals, and solar. But man, stocks like FLWS, they keep coming back. Great stock to trade, open. Did I tell you there'd be an open long trade at some point today? How you doing? Ideas. By the way, if you're about to purchase a scanner that looks for ideas, just send me your money. I'll kick you in the nuts and we'll call it even. Don't buy a scanner that's supposed to be doing something that, some trans-dimensional scanner that only that person knows the secret formula. It's all bullshit. Nobody needs a scanner to find ideas. There's hundreds of ideas a day. You don't need a scanner. You need just stocks that are in play, earnings, go-to names, VWAP, Kenny Glick, hit the bid. That's all you need. I'll be your scanner. Because if you don't know my secret identity by now, it is Scan Man. I scan all the scans that a Scan Man can. I am Scan Man. So you don't need a scanner. I am your scanner. And like it or not, I never leave. So I'm always scanning. That's what I do, right? And I know where the best stocks are. So if you're about to buy a scanner, save your money, send it to me, and I will be your scanner for the rest of your life. Because no one can scan a scan like a Scan Man can. And look, it's just trades like this. Again, this is one of my go-to names, right? Did I mention we'd be probably buying this at some point today, right? So this is your Andy Dufresne, Kardashian bottom, VWAP break. And I know it's not some monstrous trade, but, just like this NVAX, you buy 4,000 shares of it, it goes up a quarter, it's $1,000, right? You don't need that much. And, something like this on options exploration, you're buying a 750. Again, I'm not doing that because we're kind of in this sideways. But tomorrow, hopefully there's more enthusiasm. You buy yourself a $7.50 call for 2 cents. And if you get to the prior day VWAP, those 2 cent options go to 20 and you got yourself a 10 bagger. Opportunities abound. All right. On that note, Kenny Glick, AOL.com, free book, free options, November 22nd, February. We'll talk more about it. Bring your dancing shoes. And if anybody remembers that biotech stock that I'm thinking of, what the hell was that? An IPO was like Friday, 2 Fridays ago. What was it? TTRX. Yes, that was it. Thank you. That would have been annoying. Yes, that's the garbage. Yeah, there it is. There's some biotech IPO. It was good for like 5 minutes, and then it just disintegrated. Yikes. All right, namaste, my friends. Oh, speaking of namaste, if you need one more moment together, hold on. Just dim the lights. Shut off the charts. even do you one better. Watch this. Get ready. Dim the lights. Wait, let me dim the light. We're all in the Matrix. The only way to survive is to breathe in the Matrix. Sorry, the VWAP. And breathe out the barons. Breathe in the VWAP. And breathe out the Goldman Sachs. One more time. Breathe in the VWAP. And breathe out the fear. You all just got 1% better at trading just now. Congratulations. All right, I'll see you guys tonight. Swadoosh. Yes, Monroe Institute binaural beats. Yeah, they're all good. Yeah. All right. Well, congratulations on that meta trade. I stink. It's the answer. Why am I not in the meta? I stink. I don't know what the hell I was doing on that one. I waited the whole time for that move, and I sold into it. 15 points it's up now since I sold it. That's why you need to chill out every once in a while. All right, anyway, I still got this NVAX long, so if NVAX goes up a quarter, that'll make the pain go away, but damn, this is boring. But hey, still got it on. All right. You guys got my email, KennyGlick@AOL.com. I'll send you the links and the password, and then we'll all gather in the secret lair tonight. And then if you want to, I'll leave it open for 24 hours so you guys can participate right from the get tomorrow morning. What do you want to talk about? Tesla? What about it? I haven't even looked at it today. What's up? Ooh. Don't tempt me with a good time. Yeah, well, that could be your fake out, shakeout right there. So you might have just stumbled onto a trade. There's your VWAP. By the way, I'm legitimately pissed off right now. I mean, I lost money on Meta. I made it back in a little bit, and now this is just a monster trade. Congratulations, guys. I mean, if you're in it, I mean, this all started as, no joke, this started as just to prove my point that you want to be buying stocks on a squadouche day when they break down, and then they break. I mean, this is turning out to be awesome. And not only is it turning out to be awesome, it's going to the price that I told you it would go to, which is $679.80. What did it just hit? $678.90. Sorry, I was off by $1. But if you break this, you're probably going here, and you got yourself a monstrous trade, all from a goof, giving it a shot down there. You know, I got the VWAP retrace. I was pretty damn happy. And I was right to sell there because, look, it went down after I sold it. I thought I was a hero for about 3 minutes. Yeah, I'm a hero. Now I'm a zero. Oh, all right. I'm glad you guys all making money at my expense later. I'll see you guys tonight. Smoke them if you got them.